All I have to say is that Big Bill's theme music in AEW sounds like an 8-bit Nintendo game intro. And the game is called Big Bill. Maybe he's a digger or something.
Holy shit!
Is that the same video game where he's Big Bill and he wears the overalls and he starts breaking all the blocks and then the dude has to come by and keep rebuilding them?
That's Wreck-It Ralph. Yeah,
that's Wreck-It Ralph. Oh,
So similar.
Right. Similar. So it could be Break It Bill instead of Wreck-It Ralph.
Break It Bill. That's the Wish.com version of it. Guys, my neck, I think I re-broke my neck. I haven't headbanged that like that in like 20 years.
Yeah, don't hurt yourself, Justin. We need you.
Justin, you're 2 weeks into 40?
You don't really need me. Like, I can be like invalid and just sit here and just be like Stephen Hawkins, you know, on the thing. Like I can still be. I think a lot of my jokes would hit better if I had that little thing like, do you guys want to hear a dad joke? You know, like I feel like that would be cool.
I want to know why you were headbanging. That's a big thing. Like, why?
The song was a banger, bro.
I mean, it's an 80s throwback.
Yeah. Me and Dwayne get on the 8-bit music tip, like, right? Like the Mega Man Mega Man soundtrack, goated, right?
Mega Man 2 all day. Mega Man 2, which is also kind of what Big Bill's theme song sounds like.
You know what? I was just thinking the same thing.
You know who else? You know who else had a banger of a theme song that sounded like it was straight out of Nintendo? Was TJP.
Yep,
I remember
TJP.
That is actually my
cruiserweight champion. That when he was cruiserweight champion a couple years ago, that was a banger of a theme song. Like, so good.
There's several out there that are kind of like that Japanimation kind of like sound. It's almost weird how that's almost become a genre of its own. Right?
Oh, hell yeah.
Like you know, anime theme songs. It's like, that's very anime theme song. I heard somebody say that the other day.
Yeah.
And like you know, Kenny Omega is like the first one that comes to mind, right?
Yeah.
It's like, that's like a banger, but just like fast paced, like power metal with a freaking synthesizer. Like,
it's a Mega Man X, you know.
Definitely Mega Man X. Definitely Mega Man X. Yeah.
The year he fought Tanahashi at Wrestle Kingdom, I think it was Wrestle Kingdom 13 or 14, he had a new song debut and it sounded like it was fresh out of Final Fantasy, and it was Flames. So good. Man. I'll send you all the link later. It's really, really good.
Speaking of Final Fantasy, I actually just got my kids the Super Smash Brothers Ultimate that just came out for the Switch.
Oh my god.
Dwayne, have you played that yet?
Oh yeah.
Bro, it is
fantastic.
So bad. And like, you don't start with a lot of characters, but you can get more. There's like 50 characters, and I was playing, and I'm getting my butt kicked by both of them, right? Because like I'm horrible at it, right? I'm at that age now to where I'm the old dad that can't even hold the controller right. I'm going like this, trying to use my fingers and crap. So, and plus, like the Wii controllers or not the Wii, the Switch controllers are like this. Like, I feel. Yeah, it's like one of those things. Like, is this tiny or am I huge? You know, like,
Justin, if I were you, I'd be worried about just crushing the Switch.
It's they're so. Yeah, if you get mad at it, you literally just break it. I'm like, wait a second, I bought this. I can't do this. But I was playing as Cloud from Final Fantasy VII.
Nice.
And he's the first character that I came close to beating Connor with. So I'm about to, when he goes back home, I'm gonna spend the next 5 days where I don't see him. We're I'm
nice.
Well, when he gets back, it's on.
Nice. Well, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get on video for just a second so I can do our quick intro. Hi, it's me. Hello. Coming to you live from my from an undisclosed location, aka my mom's house.
Dr. Evil.
Welcome to the 1 year show, the 1 year anniversary of Broadway.
Congrats, guys.
Guys, we made it. I can't believe it. It's so amazing. This is season 2, episode 24, 25. I don't know. We've been doing this thing for a while.
We lost count.
We did.
We lost count. We're just gonna quit. I'm gonna quit counting. I'm just gonna say
I ran out of toes.
That's smart.
I don't have any more toes and fingers and appendages to count anymore. It's over with. So the Brady Bunch idea, having everybody in a panel is fabulous, and I'm so excited. And I'm going to go off camera so that we can do this thing. Plus, this picture of me is way better than me in real life.
Yes,
yes, it is. That's why I said Dr. Evil. You look like
That's
Night
right.
of the Reanimator. Like you just like created a concoction that's going to bring people back to life, and you're just
That's so good.
super excited about it.
Well, Chelsea and Dwayne, welcome back. We're so happy to have y'all today.
Thanks.
Thank you for joining us. We may have some other surprise guests coming on later in the hour, but for right now, we're going to dive in with both feet. Dwayne, Chelsea, I'm going to let Dwayne go first because he has seniority. Sorry, it's just the rules.
What the fuck?
Sexist.
What happened to
Dwayne,
Show?
let's talk about Dwayne. Let's talk about Summer Slam.
It was a great show.
All right, that's it. Good. I like it.
That's it.
Move on. Next thing.
The main match I want to talk about is the best one of the night. And I think everybody can agree. Everybody can absolutely agree. Shayna versus Ronda Rousey.
Oh my god.
Best match of the night.
Oh my gosh. I was catching up on I caught the last 2 hours of SummerSlam last night, and I watched the first 2 hours this morning. And
I'm missing the middle. I'm missing the middle, actually. I caught the final. I've caught the last two, and now I'm in the middle of Logan Paul. So I actually didn't get to see Cody and Brock. So part of me, like, I know we're going to spoil it here or whatever, but I don't even know who wins yet because I haven't been looking at it. So I guess when we go through that, I'm going to be as excited as you guys. So
all right.
I waited for y'all. Y'all can.
Shayna Baszler somehow pulled it out over Ronda Rousey.
I was happy about it. Yeah.
I think that needs to happen, right?
Yeah. Well, the rumor running around is that someone said that Ronda is either pregnant or wants to have more children, so she's kind of bowing out of wrestling, and she wanted to do Shayna the favors, which I think is just the greatest way to do things, because if you ever watch NXT and old wrestling like Florida Championship Wrestling, old NWA, old Crockett, old, Portland and Polynesia, if you were leaving to go to another company like WWF or WCW, you lost your last match.
You did
no matter who you were. You did the favors before you left.
Did you hear that, Bret Hart?
Sorry. For a force favor.
Yeah. So I think it's great that that Shayna was able to take in that win, seeing the one that's going to be sticking around. Chelsea, did you check that match out?
I did, of course, and it was just like two wild lionesses just trying to eat each other because the Sahara is desolate, that there's nothing else to eat. That's what I thought.
Survival of the fittest.
That is such
Survival of the fittest.
That's such a great visual image.
Right?
That was such a vibe. I love it.
Yeah, no, it was. I was happy for Shayna Baszler.
This is why I enjoy having a female presence on the show, because I try to be effeminate, but it doesn't work. I can paint my toenails, and that's as far as it goes for me. So
can you paint your toenails? I don't believe it. I think you have to put your video back on and prove it right now.
No, he absolutely paints his toenails. I go once every now and then to get mine too. And here's the thing. Here's the sexist thing about that. Let me go off on a rant for that for a second. You go get a manicure done with your respective, I don't know, mother, let's say daughter, as he does with Cubby, or maybe girlfriend or something like that. And they go in there and it's the same price for guys and girls, which is fair. That's fine. And they go in there and they do the whole process and they start to paint the girls' toenails, and they just kind of like leave you alone and then just stop working on you. You're like, whoa, wait a second. What's going on? They just assume you don't want anything on your toes. I'm like, no, I paid my $45. Give me some freaking neon pink. I want something on those suckers if I paid for them.
Bro, I bring them my colors. The moment I walk in the door, I hand them my colors. I'm like, these are the colors I want on my toes. She looks at me like I got snakes coming out of my head. But
I was going to say, you should have like a body cam, wear like a body cam to catch the reaction every time you do it.
One of these days.
We're going to have to video this, Justin.
I always get something like super masculine, like a gray. You know what I mean? Like, because like.
Yeah.
Go to
hell yeah.
Sure.
Well, we're going on her birthday in a couple of weeks, so I'll provide photographs for the fans. Onlyfans.com /Robson12.
Only feet.
It's
crazy.
Please.
What?
Rob sounds like Big Bill's intro music now.
Oh no.
No, yes, no, but like the fucking feet, there's a wikifeet.com, there's celebrityfeet.com.
Oh yeah,
crazy. Yeah, you can Google me. You can find me on both of those. Like,
there's
I
there's
did not
absolutely a
create my
foot
own
finder.
account.
There's absolutely
Yeah.
a foot finder too. Like
Yeah,
where
I'm on
girls go
it.
on there
I
and it's not sexual at all. Well, you need to find out who did that. You need to like start getting money from them, because there are people that it's literally just pictures of feet and they pay for it or whatever. I had a friend of mine that did it, and they make like a lot of money off of it, and literally just their feet, their face, nothing.
Yeah, I have friends who like do like foot modeling or like foot fetish photos for a living, and they were like, "You should do it," and they looked at my feet and they were like, "You can't do it."
You could do the foot fetish modeling for like Lord of the Rings. It's like,
yes, as an ogre, absolutely. No, oh no,
As
I have
an
giant
ogre?
feet. Are you kidding me?
Do you have big feet?
I do. They're massive.
So what is big feet for a girl though? Because like, I always get confused about like the girls' shoe sizes. What is the equivalent of like say a 12 for a guy?
A 12 is like a 12 in men's is probably like an 11 in women. Well, I guess I can't fucking do math. Why would you do that? So I'm an 11 in women's. I'm an 11 in women's and a 9.5 in men's.
Okay, so 2 below. Okay, so
Yeah.
then a girl, you'd be like
2
a
below.
14 if you were a
fucking no.
girl, something like that.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I didn't know that.
Okay, well, we are here to talk about wrestling, not feet, everybody.
I disagree, Ryan.
You need feet in order to wrestle.
That's true.
Actually,
that's
you don't.
true.
You do, but Justin, I believe you got 40 more minutes of time left, and we're talking about feet.
I was just trying to.
Okay, so but the Ronda Shayna match was it was
there.
It was there.
Yeah.
What were the other highlights of SummerSlam? I'm gonna go out there and say it. There was not, and since Rob is under lag, there was not a Logan Paul gangbang.
You know what?
Here's
I'm
the thing,
gonna
though.
RoboCop that ass.
Oh, Rob sounds better right now, actually.
He does. Hi, Rob.
So
hello.
Here's the thing, though. There kind of was. It just wasn't on the pay-per-view, because as most of us should know, that Logan Paul immediately hopped on a private jet after his very first match that he had. He opened the night or whatever.
Oh, and saw Jake.
And then he went to see his brother fight Nate Diaz. Well, he was out in the crowd in the same gear that he was in, which let's be honest, like it's a little ridiculous. Like you couldn't have changed in your private jet.
Right.
You don't have another shirt. Like I get it that Triple H was probably like, no, keep the gear on, bro. Like I'm sure it was it was kind of cool. He's literally like in this like leather thing hanging out. But then there was like a brawl that broke out in the front like couple seats or whatever. I don't know if you guys saw this, and Logan was involved in it. There was like this big Viking looking dude that was knocking down people. People had chairs picking them up. Like, I don't know if this was like on purpose or not, but it looked like a WWE event going on there. So he kind of was involved in a gangbang of sorts.
Was it because Nate Diaz tried to guillotine his brother?
Probably.
In the ring?
That was great though.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
Well, there was no Logan Paul gangbang on WWE Network.
No, not on WWE. No Peacock.
Good match though.
There's no Peacock gangbang.
It was a great match.
It was a great match. It was a great match. Absolutely. I
Chelsea,
like
tell me
felt
more.
scared.
Really
I
looks
felt
like he
scared a
belongs.
couple of times. He does. I'm really impressed at how well he's fucking doing. Like I'm kind of angry about it.
Yeah, you know what? Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Like, I think people at this point are like mad at him for being good, because like you really
He's so
can't
good.
deny, because he's at a level that people train 5, 6, 7, 8 years to get to, and he's been doing it for like a tenth of that, or like whatever. Like he hasn't been doing it now.
8
Granted,
months?
he has the greatest teachers in the entire world with the best facilities, and he can spend all the time in the world in it. But even with that, like you really kind of have to there's people that have done this for 20 years that can't do the stuff and make the moves that he has, and just the overall charisma. It's like, I really don't want to like the guy, but just out of like a not being a hate, I don't want to be a hater either.
Yeah, same.
Like it's like I feel like if I say that he's shit and then I don't like him, I'm literally the only answer to that is like, you're a hater, like, because he is good. He is good.
Well, I think the biggest asset that he has is that since he is such a polarizing internet personality that comes naturally to him, he has the mic skills to do whatever he wants. And then the body and the training, those are skills you can learn if, with the right teachers. And, as we talk all the time, is that you have to be good on the mic, and Logan Paul is.
Yeah.
He definitely is. Go ahead, Rob.
Fun fact for Logan Paul, his trainers, Drew Gulak, Shane Helms, The Miz, and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, I was gonna say I knew Shawn Michaels was one of them, and I knew The Miz was one of them.
A who's who of wrestlers.
Absolutely, and
teachers like that, you're set up for success.
And obviously, they're putting him with the best in the world, right? Like, I mean, he's in there with Roman Reigns, he's in there with Ricochet, he's in there with The Miz. Like these, most of these guys all of them are very, very good at hiding somebody's weaknesses and calling the match and doing all that kind of stuff. I'm sure if you put him in there with like an amateur from like a local indie place, he's not going to have such a stellar match. But still, just the ability to perform on that scale in that short of a period of time, like, it's the only way that you can like not like him is just be so pissed off that he's so goddamn good.
Yeah. When the match started, I was like, really, Ricochet? Like, Ricochet's gonna fucking destroy this fucker. And I was really impressed. I really was. Yeah.
I mean, Ricochet was. There's no doubts about that. He had it until the brass knucks came out.
The way he sold that hit was fantastic.
Yeah.
The referee sold it the worst of anybody.
Can we talk about
like cowered away when he go to throw the punch? The referee like cowered away.
Right.
Like, what the hell?
Yep.
He's not going to hit you, dude.
Hang on. I want to make a point real quick, and this is going to jump to another match, the women's match versus the men's match. And women's referees seem to be so much better on their game than the men's are. Because in the triple threat with Bianca, Charlotte, and Asuka, I don't know her name. Maybe if we can look it up. But Jessica Carr, when she was reffing that match, she was there every single time. And then at the end, I mean, that match was actually super fun.
Yes. It was
also super sloppy. Many like misgraps, things like that. But some good storytelling, like Charlotte nearly, figure eighting people. It was great. But then when Bianca won, and then Io Sky came out, Io Sky gave her the briefcase, and Jessica was like, "Oh, you're cashing in? Cool, ring the bell." When every other male referee is like, "Oh, you're cashing it in? Are you sure? Are you sure? What is this briefcase? What's in here?" And it's like they're idiots.
So you don't want to do this. You want to do this, man.
And Jessica was like, "Yeah, ring the bell. Let's go." And then boom, boom, boom. So kudos to Jessica, because she is a fantastic referee, and I love her character.
Thank you, Jessica. And the athleticism, like, there were so many fucking fantastic moments throughout this entire pay-per-view, but I just have to hand it to Io Sky for finally doing something. I'm like, you deserve it so much. You deserve it.
It was almost a WrestleMania moment seeing Damage Control going full circle from last year's Summer Slam debuting to Io winning, and they all were in the ring together hugging. It was really, really a great moment. I don't know how that's going to turn out. Obviously, they're still heels, but they had their shine in that moment. And obviously, Shotzi with her bald, shaved up head in honor of her sister's, like supporting her sister's cancer diagnosis, which is rad as shit. She's going to kill her. And I can't wait to see Psycho Shotzi come back, because that was my favorite in Evolve when she was crazy.
I'm just going to run over you with my tank.
Speaking of killing things, I feel like I called this, but it looks like they're pretty ready to kill the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Yep. So I know I said it was a couple weeks ago or whatever. You're like, no, they need to go on this and that or whatever. But like after what happened with Damian, and then there's also some off-screen stuff that they were doing that some fans caught that got posted up or whatever, that kind of furthers. There's definitely dissension in the ranks. And I don't know about you guys. I swear Damian was going to cash in. I thought he was cashing in.
He should have like 3 times.
The way he throwed it in, it was almost like he was teasing everybody with it.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of that match?
I mean, Finn and Seth, like, I mean, they're buds. Like, you know, it's when you love people you work with, you know, you're gonna make magic. The match itself, I thought was awesome. And then obviously Judgment Day comes out, and you're like, oh, here we go. But then it's like Judgment Day screwed it up.
They screwed themselves.
I love the way Seth wore the
Judgment
same
Day screwed
vest.
Judgment Day.
I love the fact that Seth wore the same vest he wore 7 years ago at their match for the Universal title.
Yes.
Oh, no way. That's awesome. I just got chills.
Somebody posted that. He had
different he had different pants on though. He did have different pants on, but
when he fought Cody in the Hell in a Cell, he wore the black and yellow polka dots. The Dusty Rhodes polka dots. And he came out to fight Ambrose and Roman, and he came out in the Shield gear. He's such a troll. I freaking love it.
He really is. And what's funny, his pants, of everything we've watched that Shannon was watching with me last night or whatever, that's the one comment she made. She goes, "What in the fuck is Seth Rollins wearing?"
I think like the favorite gear of his, like mocking somebody, was the Halloween Havoc gear that he had facing. I think it was either Dom or Rey Mysterio. That was a nice throwback.
Yeah, he always does good with the gear, man. I mean, Rey Mysterio does a really good job too with the gear, actually, though, if we're talking about gear. And then, there's some people that, that really do it. And I wonder if it's their doing or if creative or some kind of combination. Obviously, there's, they all have tailors that are making these things. And I think AEW actually has the old WCW tailor, which, speaking of AEW, we're not really going to talk about that today, but Jay Cargill is one of the best at that. At coming up with the fly gear.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what did you guys, I feel like the Seth Rollins was like the Barbie outfit, right?
Yeah.
It was totally Barbie, right?
It was something.
Yeah, I almost didn't recognize him too. I mean, he looked great. The match was great. I just love that, like, when you're bust buds, you're gonna hit each other harder, and it's just so fun to watch.
Well, you're gonna make them look good. You're gonna sell better, and like so will they.
Yeah,
hell
absolutely. Well, we're kind of moving.
Storytelling, perfect match.
It was. I thought the finish was pretty cool too, even though I was a little bit confused. I feel like it would have been better if Damian would have cashed in. But realistically, it's I guess they're going to push that out. But it definitely does look like there's dissension, and Judgment Day is slowly moving towards its final Judgment Day.
Like once Finn lost, once it was
its final day of judgment.
Like once Finn was in the clear as the clear loser, then Damian should have cashed in. Like, dude, you had your shot.
Yeah.
But
that's the thing. It's like, you could have even done it then, but he was, I get this. I kept telling Shayna too, the whole time we were watching this, the look that Damian Priest had on his face needs to be a meme. It's like when somebody does something and you're disappointed with them. It's like, it's like, that meme of the, what is it, like the dark skinned dude? I don't know if he's like Indian or something like that. He's at a basketball game. He's got his hands on his hips.
Things like that.
Oh
yeah. Yep.
That's what it reminded me of. It's like, it's
Celtics fan. Disgruntled
like,
Celtics fan.
It's like when your mom says she's got a big surprise for you. It's like when your mom tells you she's got a big surprise for you when you get home and she bought you new toothpaste. You're like,
yes.
It's like, that was one of the highlights of the night for me. But we're kind of moving backwards on the card here. So I think the one before that I missed. I saw some of it, but I haven't seen all of it yet. And I'm assuming it was a fantastic match. It was Gunther versus I had to say it for Rob because that's how Rob says it, for Drew McIntyre here. So what'd you guys think of that one? Because I only saw a little bit of it.
I'm not crazy about it.
Yeah,
really?
Okay.
Rob, tell us more.
I'm not crazy about it because I feel like it's another placeholder match. Gunther is a great wrestler. Drew McIntyre is a great wrestler. And, he is 31 days away from breaking the Honky Tonk Man's all-time Intercontinental title reign record. And to me, it's like, why would you these matches, they just feel like placeholders. And, Drew McIntyre, deserves better. Sheamus deserves better. I'd like to see Sheamus beat Gunther for the Intercontinental title.
Ooh.
And have the Grand Slam championships, the only one he had. But at the same time, I really want to see Master Gable beat Gunther because that match on Raw, that 5-minute challenge, I was just like, man, these guys are putting on a show. This is pay-per-view quality match. Why are we getting this on Raw? And somebody said it was just they wanted to see how it would go because the idea is they want to push Gable as a singles competitor. But it's like, you know, what they're doing with Alpha Academy and Maxine and Otis is gold. You can't lose.
He's too small. He'll never make it. He's too small.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Well, yeah, well.
Let me play devil's advocate with you, Rob, real quick. Let me play devil's advocate.
Man's
with
an
you.
Olympian, for Christ's sake.
So, exactly. Rob, I got a question for you. So it is SummerSlam. So do you think that Gunther versus Drew McIntyre, I know you said you weren't crazy about it, but is there anybody else that could have been, they needed a big match. They needed a good appointment. Like they weren't going to put him against, you know, Otis on SummerSlam or something like that. They're not going to put him against a mid-carder. They've got to get a big guy. Is there someone else that you think would have been a better fit for SummerSlam and to still do the job and take the loss to Gunther?
You know, based on that question, probably not because what?
What about Omos?
Has Omos won a match though? Like he needs to win his next match. Has he even won a match?
Nope.
Oh,
No.
He's like the big gentle giant at this point that anybody can pin. Like he's completely useless. That makes me think that McMahon isn't in charge. You know what I mean?
Well,
I did love everyone getting him out, like everyone in the Rumble. Yeah, that was awesome.
That's always fun. Yeah, it's always fun.
So fun.
Well, Omos suffers from the Goku syndrome, to where it's like he's the big bad villain, but everyone just digs down deep and finds a little bit more, and then all of a sudden they can eke it out. You know, it's like every single time, it's like he's gonna stomp them. I guess maybe with the exception of Brock Lesnar.
That is the perfect analogy.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. I love it.
Speaking of Brock, holy shit, what a match last night.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, I gotta watch that. So I just got it spoiled for me. I just saw the results here, but I gotta watch that.
We wanted to spoil it. Boo.
I know. I'm sorry.
Magnificent storytelling.
Magnificent
storytelling. Hard times. The handshake at the end of the match, putting him over. You know, somebody mentioned on the internet, they said, you know, it looks like that Roman and Cody are going to go again at WrestleMania next year. And they said that what a great story it would be for Brock to come back and train Cody like Rocky.
I saw that.
So he can beat the big bad head of the table. I love that idea. It hasn't been done before in WWE since Jose Lothario came in and trained Shawn Michaels for his match against Bret Hart. And that was in the late 90s. So this is something they haven't done in 30 years. So it's a fresh idea. And I like it. Dwayne.
Well, Dwayne, what do you think? Because like that's like, I mean, the storyline that we're in with the Bloodline is the number one storyline, right? Probably ever, or one of them, right? And Rocky is one of the number one and first, like, you know, comeback stories, period. So if you're going to mimic something, that would be the thing to do. Like, Dwayne, do you think that they can pull that off as good as they did when Hulk Hogan trained Mean Gene Okerlund for WrestleMania?
Absolutely, especially with it being in Philly. Also,
nice callback.
It fits. It really fits,
and it's Philly.
Hold on, if I can step in. If we're going with the Rock, if Brock Lesnar becoming Apollo Creed and training Cody to fight Roman, so that means like after SummerSlam, after WrestleMania, that someone's going to literally kill Brock Lesnar.
Gunther,
yeah.
Gunther.
That makes sense.
Gunther, absolutely. Look at you cowards.
But one thing that I love one of my favorite things about Gunther, and this is fucked up, but I love like the welts on that man. It's like they're always there. They're always so prevalent. And I'm just like, how? Astounding.
Yeah, some people get red quicker than others, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Big fan of the ring general.
I'm excited to watch it. You guys, everybody knows I'm a big Cody fan ever since everything's happened. I've stood head fast for that. And I love the fact that our dear friend Tom, who hopefully still shows up, is not here right now, used to hate Cody and he has been turned around by it. That is a true testament to the storytelling that has been going on with that. And I don't think that there is a better story that could be told than Brock Lesnar being one of the only people that can legitimately beat Roman Reigns and has legitimately beat Roman Reigns, shows Cody how to do it. The thing is, though, it really needs to be done in a serious, gritty way. And it doesn't need to be done like you're saying, my callback to Hulk Hogan making Mean Gene Okerlund drink, whole eggs and, taking them through the full sweatpants, like workout and stuff like
Brock
that.
is going to be like sitting on a sled with a whip, and Cody's going to be pulling the sled in the snow.
On his ranch.
Yeah,
they could go to his ranch.
Yeah. But this
might
is
do that,
fine
honestly.
too.
He might, and one thing I would love to see if they do go with the whole training montage or Brock helps Cody thing, have him do an F5 in the match.
Oh, that'd be
That would
badass.
be fantastic.
Or like all the finishers of people that he's beaten in one way or another, and then it just takes one crossroads, like his main move to put the nail in the coffin and become
A
champion.
curb stomp.
Yeah. No, what I think is going to happen is that Cody's going to have Brock just like every day, just unsurprising, just spear him, so he gets used to being speared.
Oh,
like he's drinking his coffee, bam, he's in the bathroom.
That would be learn how
Brock
to
shoots through the door
and then shoot to WrestleMania. Roman goes to spear him, and Cody just stands there, and Roman bounces off of him like a brick wall, and he just stands there, and he's like, "Go!"
No,
I'm immune.
Juggernaut shit.
Nothing better than a no sell.
Right.
Yeah. Oh man,
I love when Cody cries too. When Cody cries, it's just the best. Like when he looks so absolutely devastated, I just think it's the most wonderful thing in the world. He does it so well.
He is one of the best. He's one of the best actors in wrestling, man. I mean, actors like act like with his facial expressions. He is definitely one of, I wouldn't say he's the most like believable in the sense, but like as far as actual acting chops, like if somebody was going to go into acting and actually do a good job, he's at the level of like, Dwayne Johnson. If not maybe better of an actual actor than Dwayne's, obviously not as big of a star, but
so Batista level.
Batista's a better actor than Dwayne Johnson. I said what I said.
Oh, that's facts.
They put him in the right roles. They put him in the right roles.
They really do.
She knows I'm right.
No, Chelsea's the actress here. Let's chime in. Yeah.
No, absolutely, Dave Batista. Oh my God, I wish my mother was around because I'd ask her. There's some movie that came out recently that he's in with like Ron Weasley and shit.
They knock, or they come knocking or something. Yeah,
something like, and it's about the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse.
Knock at the Cabin.
Like,
great movie.
Knock at the Cabin, and Dave Batista
so
is
good movie.
amazing
Really good movie.
in that. Like he is unreal. So yeah, Batista forever. Sorry,
but they made that role for him though. That's an M. Night Shyamalan movie, right?
It's a Shyamalama ding dong. Yeah, it is.
And but that role was made for him though. You can tell the character was made for him because like I don't know that he has the range. That's my only thing, right? He's really good, and so like there's some actors out there that like they're really really good as superstars, or like you put Dwayne Johnson in a jungle and he's going to do great, right? Yeah. But like you know what I mean? But if you ask him to do like a, I don't know, like a romance, maybe do good in romance comedy. I don't know, but like you know what I mean?
Like the fairy godmother. I mean, like it's like he can do something cute and family oriented, but it's like you can tell that he's farcical about it. Like fairy whatever. I don't even know.
But like, Batista also talks about like there are no small roles. Like that's why he took that really dramatic moment in Blade Runner. As like the farmer who's like there's no, I mean there's a little physicality to it, but he's like no, super reserved, and like he's working on his range. He's working on it.
He is. I've liked just about every movie that he's been in. I wouldn't necessarily say that I've liked it because he was in it. You know what I mean? He's definitely not a bad actor.
Sense.
But like, I mean, for instance, what is it, Army of the Dead or whatever?
Yeah,
that was a solid movie. But the whole time I was watching, and
Army
I'm
of
like,
Darkness. There we go. Yeah.
No, not Army of Darkness. That was Bruce Campbell. It was Army of the Dead.
Army of the Dead. Yeah.
It was a Netflix one.
Netflix.
Yeah, where they're in Vegas or whatever. That was a fantastic movie. But his acting, it bothered me a little bit in that one because I feel like he didn't have the.
I haven't seen it.
But he was obviously fantastic in Avengers, where he's supposed to be, or where in Guardians of the Galaxy, in the Avenger movies, where he's supposed to be like super monotone. And then, he's supposed to be this really weird, awkward quiet, Mormon-esque type creepy character. In the they knock at the cabin. Is that right?
Maybe it's the quality of directing, just saying. Who knows?
Could be. You know what? That's another thing. Like I've heard a lot, my friends, and maybe Chelsea, you can speak to this because you have more experience than all of us. Like, a lot of his editing and the director, right? Like you can take a bad actor and you can make him look really good. And sometimes
a lot of
even
that's going to be
versa.
editing. Yeah. A lot of that's. I mean, the editing I think is definitely will play a huge part in that for sure.
Well, one person you would not have to edit if you had them on live would be LA Knight because he rocks it.
Mm-hmm.
And let me talk to
you. Rob, give us your best LA Knight and tell us what you thought about the Battle Royal.
Let me talk to you. Coming in here, Summer Slam, Slim Jim Rumble. Yeah. Gonna go in there and beat all these other bitch asses. Yeah. Throwing them over the top. What everybody's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So does he have a lifetime supply of Slim Jims now?
I think so.
Oh, that would be fantastic. Does he get to wear the Macho Man hat? That's what I want to know. Does he get to wear the Macho Man hat?
I want them to do a Slim Jim commercial with LA Knight for winning the Battle Royal, and it goes.
Oh, he was.
He's going to be like, snap it to a Slim Jim. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
Because Macho Man Randy Savage had to snap it to a Slim Jim. Oh, yeah. His catchphrase. So it's perfect.
Yeah, they got LA Knight and Bianca in the new Slim Jim commercial with Macho Man's old ad running in the background.
Oh, even better.
Solid.
That's
God,
awesome.
that's magic.
That's awesome. Man, the
Bianca
product placement was fun, right? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Bianca is such a star.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Did she hurt herself? Did she actually hurt herself?
No.
That
was
really great actor.
To work.
Okay, because I'm like, I tore my ACL. I tore my ACL, and I was like, no, please. No, she was great. She was really great.
If they had really thrown up a legit X, she would have been out of that match. They would not have let her continue.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I was like, she's a superwoman, so I was just like, she'd do it anyway.
The Mets office is like, she'll be okay. She knows what she's doing. She's a professional.
I hadn't seen anything this morning saying that she was legitimately injured, so that's good news. But if something comes out that she is, obviously BTB wishes her a speedy recovery.
So BTB, absolutely. I want you to ask Dwayne and Chelsea this question though, because we talk about LA Knight a lot on here. We all love him, guys. Not necessarily what do you think about him, but do you think he will ever legitimately be like world champion, main event style, or do you think they're going to kind of hold him down to the intercontinental title level?
I'd like him to realize his full potential and do everything. I don't particularly care for him because I had someone put like a bad taste in my mouth but on how they introduced who he is to me and came up with a nickname for him. But I mean, he did a fantastic job. I mean, why not? Do you have an idea as to why they would hold him back?
His age. And that's really it.
His age, and for whatever reason, they've just kind of always had him in the background. They've kind of not, he's always in the background of the workout videos, and he's been around forever. And then he gets a lot of hate for just being the Rock / Stone Cold knockoffs and this and that. But I mean, we all love him. I think he's got it. I think the people, he's one of, like Rob talked about it the other day, or the other podcast. Rob, if you kind of reiterate, he's kind of one of the only guys that's naturally and organically gotten over himself despite creative in the last decade.
Yeah. So I had made mention during last week's podcast, or maybe 2 weeks ago, that there's maybe 8 or 9 wrestlers that have gotten over organically without any real help. John Cena, The Rock, Stone Cold, Kofi Kingston, Sami Zayn, Zack Ryder,
Daniel
now
Bryan.
Matt Cardona, Becky Lynch, LA Knight, and Sami Zayn. So it's these are the guys in WWE in the last 25 years that have really gotten over without having to be shoved down the throats with a title like Roman, like Seth, these guys. Because when the Daniel Bryan, when the crowd gets behind somebody, there's something very special about the time, the place, and the emotion.
Mm-hmm.
You have you have the time, WrestleMania, you have the place, you know, the crowd, and you have your emotion. The crowd is all behind you. So it's art, that's how we feel about arts, how we feel about baseball, basketball. I mean, Chelsea, you and I have done acting, so we definitely understand the time, the place, and the emotion. And when you take a guy like this who has been wrestling for almost 20 years, he was in Impact Wrestling, he was champion and all that. He was the NWA national champion. He's been everywhere, and now he's here, and he did really well in NXT.
Mm-hmm.
And then they brought him to the main roster to be a manager for two guys who were drowning on the main roster, and Mansoor and Mace, because they put these people in these terrible, terrible, terrible gimmicks and these terrible storylines, this retribution storyline. They put a mask on him, and they put Mansoor. They brought Mansoor over from Saudi Arabia and put him with Ali, and it just didn't work. And then, we're going to make a maximum male models. And then 8 weeks into that, they bring Maxine in because, it's not working, because LA Knight doesn't want to be Max Dupree. He wants to be LA Knight. And finally he said, you know what? I'm just gonna take a risk. And the risk is paying off. And good for this guy, because this is, he's 40 years old, and he's our age. And now it's like, shit, let's give this guy a go. I don't think they're gonna elevate him to world champion status. I think that's something they should do, but I don't think it's something that they will do, because
I didn't know he was that old.
I feel like the crowd is fickle. Yeah.
Hey,
well, he doesn't look that old.
40's still a spring chicken. 40's still a spring chicken, damn it.
I mean,
you know what it is? It's the DDP effect. You know what I mean? They did the same thing. DDP was just a manager or whatever, and he just came through and he shined, and he didn't even start his professional wrestling career to 37 or something like that. He was in his 40s when he won his
until he was 45.
Yeah, there you go. So I mean, it's it's not like it can't be done. And I would definitely venture to say that LA Knight's in better shape than DDP ever was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With less bumps and bruises. So I mean, the guy's in phenomenal ring shape, and then also phenomenal just aesthetic shape. So I don't know why you couldn't do it. He could push any product that you need. You could plug and play him into any situation that you needed to, and all you need to do is let him win, and the guy could be believable for a world title position, in my opinion. I just think, he's got a good size to him. He looks serious, you know what I mean? But he has the comedy factor. He's so versatile. And that's the thing. Like, Dwayne, you said that you liked him. You liked the maximum male models, and they were good for what they were. They were this kind of like, little segment. They were a joke that was the comedy break and this and that. And because of LA Knight, he was able to make chicken salad out of chicken shit. But a band or a group like that has a really short shelf life. And at best they're going to get one gimmick and then kind of be out, right? Like, it's very rare you see something like the Acclaimed happen, or like the New Age Outlaws happen, where they had this little gimmick and then they can push through like that. And I just, that wasn't going to happen. But the obvious star of that was LA Knight. And I didn't used to see it, but now the more I watch it, the more I see it, the more I'm just like, this guy's a professional. He can talk, he can move, he has the look, he literally has everything that you possibly could. And I think it's just a damn shame that he's 40 and he hasn't gotten to a higher level.
Lots of wrestlers are 40. Brock Lesnar's 46.
He is, but Brock Lesnar's been world champion 34,000 times. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. Like, he's literally done everything you can do at his age. Whereas, like,
they said last night that Brock Lesnar had defeated 16 Hall of Famers. 16.
Yep. That's crazy.
They need to call him the Legend Killer, right?
No kidding. God damn.
Randy Orton. Which, speaking of which, Randy Orton was at SummerSlam last night, guys.
What?
Good. Yeah. I bet it was good. I bet he was happy to see everybody, man.
We need, before WrestleMania, we need to see a program with Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes.
That's for sure. For sure.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Because there's so much story, and he's talked about him so much. Guys, I got about 10 more minutes or so. I want to talk about because I want to get y'all's opinion before I watch it, since we are talking about Cody Rhodes. and Brock Lesnar. I want to get y'all's opinion on that match.
Dwayne.
That was an excellent match. Biggest moment for me, I'd say, was that top rope Cody cutter that he hit, and Brock's selling is extremely underrated. Just since the beginning,
he is a good seller. Yeah, absolutely.
People don't give him enough credit with his selling. And then the whole show of respect at the end was awesome, unexpected, and it's just adding layers to the story, which is fantastic. But Brock, and there's one thing about Brock I will say, that man can sweat instantly. It is the funniest thing. He just pours sweat.
He turns red as a beet.
He turns
red as a beet within 30 seconds of the match.
It's that Viking blood, bro. He's used to be up in Greenland. He needs to be up in the Scandinavian area. It's a Viking blood. Chelsea, what'd you think about it?
He tore shorts also.
It's because it's Cody Rhodes and like everything that he's gone through and all of that. I actually bought that he could beat Brock Lesnar, and it's really hard to win me over when I think that the little guy can win against someone like that. So it was entertaining. It was really entertaining. I think it was great storytelling, and I'm curious to see where it goes from there. Epic storytelling. Dusty would have been proud. The way he kept getting thrown out of the ring and beating the 10 count back in.
I mean, that was just a whole. I mean, granted, Brock needed to catch his breath, so that's why they did all those spots, because Brock was blown the hell up. But just, I mean, seriously, he was blown up. He's like, count him. He's like sweating his face off.
Slow down.
Slow down.
So give him some more time. He needs,
and he's going to be the one to train Cody to beat Roman, huh?
More in the power game, but yeah.
Do you think that Dwayne, because you were talking about the selling thing, and I totally agree with it. My opinion in that, the reason why I feel like it's more impactful when a monster like that does sell, because he doesn't always sell. Like, he's such a killer. And so when he sells, it's like, it's more impactful, right? Like, it means something, like, oh, he's hurt. It's almost like, since we're going to harken back to Rocky, it's kind of like, Rocky IV with Drago, like when he starts to bleed and they're like, see, he can bleed. He can be killed. He's not a machine, like he can be hurt. You're like, oh, this is serious. And it helps put over. That's what, man. Yeah. Freaking, Dolph, man. He was my hero growing up, even though he's an evil Russian. I wanted to be an evil Russian growing up, Doesn't
Dolph also have like a doctorate in chemistry?
Yeah,
and something like that. Yeah,
he's extremely. Also, best movie ever was not Showdown in Little Tokyo. What was the other one? Showdown in Little Tokyo with Brandon Lee. If you guys haven't watched that, fantastic masterpiece of cinema. Absolutely, and
another classic.
And so many like phallic jokes from Brandon Lee about the size of Dolph Lundgren. It's hilarious.
Speaking of masterpieces, this is our segue into the main event, with main event Jey Uso taking on the head of the table Roman Reigns in tribal combat for the championship, for the title of tribal chief. And holy shit, could I have called that any better?
I mean,
did anybody think that Jey was? I want to, before we start, did anybody on this panel think that Jey was actually going to win?
No.
Okay.
I said it last week. I said Jimmy's going to come in and kick him in the face and cost him the match.
Yeah.
You see, my perspective on that match is like, you're seeing people switch roles slowly. Well, one faster than the other, but you're seeing Jimmy and Solo swapping sides slowly but surely.
Yeah. Solo's going to side with Jey, and then Jimmy's going to side with Roman, and it's just going to keep going.
You think Solo's going to side with Jey?
Yeah. We'll see. Because he looked pissed off at the end of that when Roman speared him, and at the end of the show, he really looked pissed. And then you look at the fact that Jimmy and Jey did an interview recently, and they said, "What's a dream match for you guys?" Said, "We want to wrestle each other at WrestleMania before we're done." Well, WrestleMania is, again, 8 months away, but I don't know, man. You can build this thing if you really work hard at it.
Go ahead and plant that seed and water it for 8 months.
I'm down.
He's got to grow.
You could. I think if you're just going off a crowd reaction, I think it would be more impactful for the story for Jay to have to fight off everybody else, and he's by himself now, right? Like you've got Jimmy, you've got Solo, you've got Roman. They're all together now, and he's the one that's basically on his own. And then maybe at the last minute when he wins, Sammy comes out. And talk about a feel-good moment, Sammy helping Jay win.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can later on set up a program with them. But I feel like for the story long term, and like, you know, if we're just trying to finish the story, like I think that I feel like that's a better cinematic, you know, decision.
I could agree with that. But
Yeah.
it also looks to me like, you know, how do you get the title off of Roman and then get back on him before WrestleMania? Because this is about Cody too.
I'm thinking, you know, I was thinking about that when we were talking about the Rocky stuff, was because if Cody fights Roman at Mania for the title, that means you know, whoever wins the Rumble will probably challenge Seth, which could be Finn, you know, that'd be kind of cool.
LA Knight.
Or LA Knight, yeah. But I think if Finn wins the Royal Rumble, that's his final shot at Seth. And it's like, dude, it'd be like the John Cena, Randy Orton thing. Like, we're done. No more. This is the final one.
I could see them stringing that out and Finn finally winning it from Seth and then Damian cashing in.
Right.
And Finn
That would be nice. Survivor Series.
Yeah, the Universal title that happened with him, and then he got hurt, and then just, you know, it's always the bridesmaid, never the bride, kind of like I almost had it every single time. Like, just really, really can go down a deep, dark hole with Finn. And then especially with his demon character, there's just some really like good layers you could do with that if you really want to try and get into this more cinematic kind of like actual Hollywood storytelling type stuff. There's some really good opportunities there.
And he's the one who has nothing right now in the Judgment Day. Not a thing.
Yeah. He's the one that's supposed to be there to put everybody over, and he's done it. He's done great. Everybody's got gold on him except for him.
The most decorated out of everybody, and he has nothing currently.
Which would work great into the, you know, his own psychosis of falling into, you know, the Mad King, you know, type.
I think he's like some sort of like martyrdom or something like that. He's done this for all of you. Yeah, further aid into that. Oh, that'd be
absolutely.
I'm here.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you guys keep going on. I love each and every one of you individually the exact same amount, just like a child and a father. And I look forward to talking to you guys soon. And I'm excited for year 2. And when are we gonna get to episode 100? Where are we at on that? Because we got to do like
I think we're around 50 because we're at 24, 25 right now.
That makes sense.
So
yeah,
maybe probably around 40.
About this time next year.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Bam. I'm excited. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna go take the kids, and you guys talk amongst yourselves, and I will leave you with a dad joke. What did the fish say when it swam into the concrete wall?
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
See you, bud.
Well, I mean, I think that kind of it's what else is there to talk about? You know, I got something I want to talk about. I want to give Hikaru Shida a shout out.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Was the quarantine champion, and literally when they came back, we're bringing back the audiences. She lost the belt, and at the time, I'm sorry, before she lost the belt, they gave her the bigger belt, which is like about friggin' time, because that would look like a Hot Wheels car around your waist. And she was down and out, and she came back and she fought off the entire Toni Storm, Ruby Riott,
Outcasts.
the Outcasts, and it's like, and she won, and kudos to her.
Yes, Hikaru. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a big Shida fan, and obviously seeing Jamie Hayter get injured, you never want to see an athlete get injured. And, you know, Toni Storm's cool, and, you know, she deserves her flowers, but when you're not doing anything with the belt and it's not elevating you, Toni wasn't getting it. Now, Ruby would have been the right choice because she needs the elevation.
Absolutely.
Dwayne, I see you nodding your head. I see everybody nodding their head. So if you really wanted to elevate a star, you know, I get that you use Jamie Hayter and Tony Storm's story that they lived together and they trained together during quarantine and this and that and the other. That's great and all. But Ruby is the only one in that group that's never won a major championship. Tony Storm is the NXT
Absolutely
UK
wild.
Women's Championship. It's absolutely wild that she hasn't held a singles title in
Criminal.
AEW. It's brutal. I mean, maybe she was a tag champion with
Liv. Yeah.
Liv and Sarah Morgan, Sarah Rowe
As the Riot Squad.
Riot Squad.
Yeah.
I think they came out with the titles like at the tail end of the Riot Squad. And
Yeah.
They didn't get it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Correct. You're right.
But it's so strange to me that just about everybody around Ruby has had their moment. Liv's been champion. Saraya was multiple time champion. Tony's been a 2-3 time champion. Give this woman a break and let her win a goddamn title.
All in. Honestly, that's where I'd see it going, all in, because and I hope that they don't do the obvious thing and try to do, you know, Saraya versus Cheetah for the title in Europe, because that's too obvious. No, give it to Ruby, give her flowers. Long overdue. Happy ending.
But let's not make Sheeta a transitional champion either, because
No, that's true.
That's the hard.
She
part.
earned it, dude. She carried the brand.
She carried the company.
Yeah.
True. Yes, the company, absolutely.
But I'm sorry, Ruby, she needs to get better on the mic. She needs to go hang out with LA Knight, The Rock, Stone Cold, MJF
Christian,
for like a month. Yeah, Christian, just for like a month in the woods and just learn to talk some trash, because she still can't. She's
really
great in the
can't.
ring, but she needs to learn to talk some trash.
Did you guys see where Christian's daughter was standing backstage and she touched the belt and he said, "You didn't
Call
win this.
security
You
on
can't
her."
touch the belt. Go find your mom."
What? I
It's
missed
her
that.
child.
Yeah.
I missed that. That's amazing. That's
Yeah,
so
God,
good.
I laughed so hard. I was like, man, this is great.
No,
see that.
he was all like, "Go find your mother." And then when she walks off, he's like, "Security, she doesn't have a pass. You know, get her out of here."
Oh my god.
I gotta
That's
see that.
amazing. That's
Yeah,
I
it
don't
was
want to
good on
leave
Collision.
y'all, but I have to leave y'all and go on another meeting. And I
All
don't
right,
have
well,
a
let's
dad
wrap it
joke.
here.
Let's wrap it here.
No,
Congrats on your shows, guys. You're killing it. The show is so entertaining. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
Well,
Happy
thank you.
1 year, everybody.
happy 1 year.
Can't wait to
Aw.
have you guys on again. It was a delight.
Cool. Hit the
So
music.
fun.
Happy wrestling, everybody.
Happy
1
wrestling.
year anniversary.
Take care.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, Dwayne. Thanks, Chelsea.
Thank you.